been alleged again that Aquaman 2 is a shambles, with accusations that recent test screenings were awful, and guess who's to blame? Say it with me, Amber Heard. This isn't the first time there's been talk about problems with Aquaman 2. Last summer, it was reported that Warner Bros. CEO David Zaslav wasn't thrilled with the film, and then a few days later, the release date was pushed back. According to 4 independent sources, Warner Bros. Held Aquaman 2 test screenings, and they were terrible, especially given the horrible exposure Amber gave the franchise during her lengthy legal struggle with Johnny Depp. So, what did the lead actor, Jason Momoa, have to say about the failed test screening? And does he have any regrets about working with Amber? Stay tuned for more juice.
Now it needs something more.
What could be greater than a king? A hero.
The final DCU films have practically been rendered inconsequential, as evidenced by an update on Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. For months, the franchise has been in a constant state of flux, and while James Gunn and Peter Safran taking over as CEO of DC Studios in December may help to steady the ship, its future may come at the expense of its current schedule. Patty Jenkins has left Wonder Woman 3, and Jason Momoa may be moving on to a new job following Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Yet, DCU's main concern at the moment is the bad response to its upcoming project, Aquaman 2. The sequel to Jason Momoa's film has already undergone significant reshoots and issues around Amber Heard's involvement. After her trial against Johnny Depp, fans were opposed to her appearing in the film, preferring to give her as little screen time as possible. But while it may look like the film has undergone a series of revisions before its release, it appears that the harm has already been done. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom has been delayed several times and has had its fair share of problems for various reasons. From Amber Heard's performance as Mira to Jason Momoa's praise for Ezra Miller, people are dissatisfied with the cast of the film. It was previously stated that the film would require numerous reshoots. Others even speculate that Ben Affleck's role in the film was expanded from a cameo to a side character in order to shadow Amber's presence in the picture. The most recent test screening of the film revealed that it needed to undergo significant plot modifications. Even though much of the script has been changed, Amber Heard will supposedly still appear in the picture. Fans appear anxious after learning of the revisions, and many questions if the script will suffer or better as a result. It also calls into question Ben Affleck's role in the film and whether the revisions will have an impact on it. James Wan has been working non-stop to make the film the best it can be, yet it will ultimately herald the end of the Aquaman series. James Gunn had already stated that this would be the King of Atlantis' final film. While it can be argued whether the adjustments were made deliberately to retain the film as part of the DCU, this is unfortunately not the case. The film will have no ties to the franchise and will stand on its own. This may only assist the franchise because having ties to Amber Heard, who is already recognized as a controversial actress, will only harm the franchise's fresh start. Ties to the past will only keep them from exploring the new, especially since Gunn's primary goal is to break anything connected to Zack Snyder's set plot. So, where are some of the fan reactions to Aquaman's test screenings? T.C. Walsh tweeted, "Sounds like it went through some significant plot changes, not anything DCU related." In another deleted tweet, viewer Anson stated, "I'll be honest, we're half a dozen tests screening in, and it's not looking great. I've consistently heard over the last half year or so that it's boring, not as good as the first, and potentially one of the worst DCEU movies." Big Screen Leaks also posted on Twitter, "There's a reason I've been avoiding any questions about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, but since a viewer anon put it out there, it brings me no joy to back him up and tell you that test screenings for this film have not been good. Really hoping Wan fixes this movie before December." Big Screen Leaks also stated, "I heard that something that almost never happened in test screenings happened with this movie. They're really going to need to fix this one and fix it fast." Viewer Anon commented, "This is one of the bad things about being a scooper. I don't want to shit on movies, but at a certain point when people know there have been a lot of test screenings, our silence becomes pretty telling. I like Wan. I know he's had a rough time on this one. I hope it works out." Jeff Snyder then contributed his 2 cents, stating that the success of Aquaman 2 is most likely the reason Jason Momoa will continue to play Lobo in James Gunn's new DC universe. "I hear it's terrible, and that's why Momoa is going to be Lobo going forward. But they can't say that yet because then it would be a lame duck. And DC is hoping to wring another billion out of the box office. The first one was awful too, so not a huge surprise," tweeted Snyder. It was also questioned whether Amber Heard's performance as Mira was to blame for Aquaman 2's failure. However, according to all test screenings, Amber Heard and Mira aren't even in the film very much. Fans appear to follow through on their pledge to boycott the film even before it hits theaters. During the Johnny Depp defamation lawsuit, they claimed that the film would be a bomb if Amber was in it, and it appears that prophecy is coming true. As most people are aware, Amber's role has been significantly reduced since the first episode of the DC Extended Universe. She stated that the setback was the result of the slander trial. Also, it was found that she did not receive a raise for the sequel, but Jason Momoa's salary increased from $3 million to $15 million. Also, as you may know, Johnny Depp lost Fantastic Beasts 3 during the UK trial. Despite having shot for a day, the actor was fired. On the other hand, everyone knows how desperately fans want him to return to the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, but Disney has decided to focus on a spin-off starring Margot Robbie instead. From that moment on, netizens began demanding that Amber be removed from Aquaman 2 or they would not see the film. Many fans have even apologized to Jason Momoa, stating that they love him but will not watch Aquaman 2 because their dislike for Amber Heard outweighs their affection for him. One fan wrote, "The reason people would go see Aquaman 2 is for Jason Momoa, but I don't think even he can save this film if Warner Bros. Insists on keeping Amber Heard. I mean, holy shit, there's nearly 5 million signatures to get rid of her and it's still going strong." Another jumped in, posting, "My deepest, greatest apologies to Jason Momoa at Pride of Gypsies J. To Warner Bros., I will not pay any amount of $sign to see Aquaman 2 so long as that psychopathic bitch #Amber Turd is in it." According to a Johnny Depp admirer, "Love Jason Momoa, but I'm not going to watch Aquaman 2 with Aine. Sorry at WB Pictures, but I'm disappointed in your horrible decision. Ain't watching Aquaman 2 unless Mira is 100% gone. That kind of an abuser doesn't deserve to be in a film with Jason Momoa. Honestly, she doesn't deserve shit," another angry fan wrote. The film was initially scheduled for December 16, 2022, but was pushed back to March 17, 2023 to give time for VFX to be completed. Warner Bros. Discovery then pushed it out to the present date in order to spread out marketing spending until 2023. The sequel was shot between June 2021 and January 2022, with additional reshoots in July 2022. That should mean that the December 2023 deadline will be met. We'll be waiting almost as long for a trailer as Arthur did to see his mother, Atlanta. Expect nothing substantial until the middle of 2023 at the earliest. Yet, barring a miracle, we can assure you that the film is doomed to be a colossal flop. That's all for now. Till next time, bye!